This is a really challenging and exciting activity to do with the family, whether it's your siblings, your parents or carers. So let's buckle up. Hiya, my name's Comfort Fabian. I'm an actor, a community artist and storyteller, and I'm also a member of Coco Collective. And today I'm going to be showing you how to make a time capsule. Okay, so I'm going to do this in my kitchen. And the first thing that I need to do is decide what I'm going to put my items in for this time capsule. So the first thing you need to do is decide how long you want it to last. So if you know it's going to be something that's dug up in a few years' time by relatives or friends, then something like a shoebox or any sort of sturdy cardboard or biodegradable plastic that will last up to 5 to 10 years without too much damage. It's probably a good idea. You can cling film anything that you put inside and they will last, and they should be in good condition when you dig them up. If you're looking for something a little bit more long lasting for the future, then it's some more sturdier plastics or metal containers are really good for that. This is quite good because also it's got a lock, so that means it'll be much harder for anyone to get into it who's not meant to. I'm going to go with the metal coffee container because I like the shape and I know that it will contain all the things I want to fit inside. So let's start. Whoa. Hold up. Before we get going, I want to share a quick story with you. And this story I'm particularly interested in because I think it relates a lot to what Coco Collective is all about. I want to share this because it's a story about a black Tudor. That is a black man who was living in the Tudor times. Maybe you remember a little bit about Henry VIII and Elizabeth I. He was living in the same time as they were. His name was Henry Jetto. He was a gardener and a yeoman, which means that he actually owned some land of his own and farmed it as well. He was alive between the years of 1569 and 1627. Well, that's what we know at least. That was 500 years ago. Wow. Well, we don't know much about him, sadly, but we do know that he was one of the earliest known black people to have written a will in England. A bit like a time capsule. Because a will is a way to leave a bit of yourself behind for those that you care about and for the world to have an idea of who you were. It tells us how they would have liked to be remembered, a bit about their legacy. Okay, so now I've decided on what container I'm going to use, and now I need to think about who I might be leaving these items for. So if it's for someone that might be digging up in a few years, I want to have stuff that's maybe important to me, personal to me, but I could also put personal items in for someone who might be completely unrelated to me, digging this up in 75, 100 years and learning about my time and my generation. So I think I'm probably going to go for that. I'm going to go for someone I imagine in 100 years is going to dig this up and want to know what was happening in 2021. I've kept the foil lid for extra preservation, but also you have to be careful with things like this because they can be a bit sharp. But I think it will help keep them a bit safer. So now I need to gather the items I want to put inside the time capsule, knowing who this is for. Something that's really important is a bit of hand sanitizer. And I think it will still be important in 100 years' time. It's really important to keep your hands clean. Make sure you wash your hands, make sure you sanitize your hands. So I hope in 100 years' time we'll still be doing that. So I'm going to pop that in. And then this is one of my favourite scrunchies because it's one of my favourite colours, grey, as you can see. And it's a really easy one to keep on there. I have a couple of these, but this one is just a little bit personal and tells you a little bit about me and my favourite colour. Okay, so I'm going to pop that in there. And another item I've picked is a ring that my mum gave me. It's one of a set of rings that my mum gave me. So hopefully this will be preserved and tell everyone a little bit about my relationship with my mum and how dear she is to me. So put that in there. And then who knows, there might be a little bunch of kids who need some entertainment. So I've got a little pack of colouring pencils I'm gonna chuck in there. Write a letter to this person, whether it's someone who is only going to be digging this up in 10 years time, or someone who will be digging this up in 100 years time, saying what you've included in your time capsule, why you've buried this, and what you hope they'll get from it when they dig it up. And then a couple of clippings from a magazine, telling people a little bit about things that are happening at the moment. This one is quite interesting about the live performance sector and also about, you know, current events and something that might well be important to someone 100 years later. So I think hopefully that should be interesting for them to read a little bit about. Maybe they won't understand it, but they'll still learn something from it. So I'm going to add that in. I'm going to add an item in that I think is really special. Cling film is really useful for this. I'm probably going to use cling film just so that it's visible. I was given some flowers at the station on the 10th of May, and they were really beautiful and they cheered me up. And it was for Mental Health Awareness Week, so I'm including some pressed petals from that. And to do this, I've got a bit of card. Now I've already cut this up. If you have permission to use the scissors, then you can get some card and cut it up. If not, get a responsible adult to do that for you. And I'm gonna glue these down the card. I'm just gonna put some glue on there. And you've got to be careful when you press flowers. It can take up to 3 weeks for them to dry and be pressed, but they become very brittle. You've got to be very delicate with them. Down. And some of them dry darker than others. This was a yellow and peach rose, and it was so stunning and it really cheered me up. So there you can see I have labelled my dried petals, roses from the 10th of May, and I've just put a little bit on the back there about why I got them and wrap them in the cling film to help preserve them for a little bit longer. I'm just going to pop those inside my time capsule. Lovely. Great, so I think I've got enough items here. I'm just going to write my letter, list of items inside my time capsule. And then when I'm done, I'm going to put the foil cap back on and add some extra foil on top, and then place the lid on there. I'm going to find a spot to bury it so that it won't be found. And then hopefully in 100 years time, someone will find this and learn a little bit about 2021. Okay, so that was it. That's how you make a time capsule. I really hope that you enjoyed this workshop and short story time, and thank you for taking part. Do let us know what your favourite part of the workshop was. If you liked it or you learned anything new, feel free to hit that like button. And don't worry, you'll get a chance to re-watch this when it gets uploaded. Just go to www.CocoCollective.org/videos and it will be uploaded there. So feel free to subscribe to their email list because you'll get an alert when that happens. Also, then you'll be able to see all their other videos, other workshops, which you do not want to miss, trust me. So yeah, the link will be in the description box. So thank you and see you soon.